all grouped out, right? Just another group, right? Tell the truth, you know. We get tired of it. Another meeting. Well, wipe all that out your head.
Yeah.
Give us a shot. It's not your typical class. It's not your regular group. It's not anything you're already accustomed to. This whole thing is brand new and is geared to you. The whole purpose of this, how you get it, is going same class, but you're going to get different things out of it. It's all about you. It's how you work it, how you do it. We are so excited to be here. I know you've heard that, but it's true. We are very excited. One of the reasons we're excited is because my husband loved the Salvation Army.
Not that much.
He loved it a lot. I can't even tell you how many times he came through the Salvation Army. He loved it so much. Guess where he married me?
At the
Salvation Army. Yeah. So we are excited to be here. My name is Lernell Williams. I am the honored wife of Michael Mickey Williams. It is all glory to God that I'm able to say that. I did 11 rehabs with this gentleman, and the last one I thought either he was going to die, I was going to die, we both was going to die. But it was nobody but God, and we're going to share some things with you that we had to apply, that we had to do. And I want to start off by saying, wherever you are able, and it's your choice to serve whatever God you want. You know how they say, move the God of your understanding, correct? However, whatever you pick, we ask that you pick one that has some evidence behind it, that has some proof that it works. Not just what somebody said, not because it's the latest fad, because it works. We stand here of proof that our choice, God, our Lord and Savior, works. 11 rehabs we did together, that's not the ones he did without. It took God. So that's what we are. We are proof, we are evidence that this thing works. Okay, so I'm gonna sit down and get out your way and let him get started.
Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I want to give honor to y'all great leaders. I get emotional about this part. Let me tell you, in August 2009, I was addicted to crack cocaine. I was addicted to heroin. I was in Bristol, New Jersey. I was suicidal. I had completely given up on life, and I was sitting there, and I was sitting on a bench, and I said, "This is it. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna just get my life over. It's over. I relapse after relapse, rehab after rehab, wife, give your home family. It was over. But something inside my spirit said, try one more time. Somebody say one more time.
One more time.
So I did not have a personal relationship with God at that time. All I knew in my spirit was to go to the Salvation Army and ask them to give you or help you get to a rehabilitation center. I went to the Salvation Army, and my dad, I call him my dad, they were working at the Salvation Army in Bristol. Now, Salvation Army don't give people money. It just don't happen that way. I had a crack pipe in my pocket, but my spirit told me to go down there. It was another pastor who's my friend, Pastor Russell. I came down there and I said, can y'all please give me $20 to catch a bus to detox, and I'm never going to do drugs ever again. They said, hold on. They went in the office to pray about it. They came back out and said, God said, give you the money. I never got high again. God is worthy to be praised. I never touched it again. That was August 2009. Since that day, I'm a 10-time published author. Since that day, I'm a counselor, intern, and a recovery coach. I actually get a check as a drug counselor. Oh my goodness, I actually worked as a drug counselor. I started my own program, the Minor Adjustments Program. Minor Adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime, and our primary purpose is to teach men and women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere, but backwards. Your mouth is not moving, sir. Yes, you. Everybody say anywhere, but backwards. The reason why I'm going to point some of you out, because if I see you don't have the passion to succeed in your recovery, I need you to have the same passion and enthusiasm that you had when you went to go get the bag. Okay? You didn't go to the drug dealer and say, you would have got shot. You went to the drug dealer and you told him what you wanted. Everybody say anywhere, but back. I do not come here to allow you to casually be nice about your recovery. It is my assignment from God to provoke you to change. I am not the individual who will change you. You control you. Everybody say anywhere, but back. In that mission statement, everybody look at page 5 or page 6. Page 6. Page 5. You see the mission statement on 5, everybody? Everybody see it? It said, Mike, y'all see it? What 2 words are very big on that mission statement? Come on, talk. Let's go, because y'all listen. Everybody say, to attain my sobriety is easy. My challenge is to maintain it. Say, to attain my sobriety is easy. My challenge is to maintain it. Listen to me, y'all. The only reason I say to attain your sobriety is easy is because I know if you're like me, you have come into the possession of your sobriety more than one time. Am I right? Yeah. So getting your sobriety is actually the easy part. You did that multiple times. The challenge is to maintain it. Yeah, you should do it. They got it. They rolling. They got it. Listen, I'm telling y'all, man, this is no program that you have mastered. This is coming straight from something that I have lived. And this whole weekend, I'm going to pour into you what I have lived. But this is the thing that you have to understand. You live the same thing I live too. Everybody say, to attain my sobriety is easy. My challenge is to maintain it. You don't have to go get it no more. In August 2009, when I obtained my sobriety, I didn't have to go get it in August 2010. I simply had to maintain it. Y'all good. Give yourself, come on, man. Give yourself a round of applause. I don't come here to play games, man. Because the thing that's trying to kill you is very aggressive. So I don't waste my time. Man, listen. Do you know how much hell I went through and almost stopped me from coming here? Because my wife was getting on my nerves? Because I did something that caused us to have a heated discussion. Right? But after I sat back and thought about it, I said, hold on. It ain't even about her or me. It's about stopping me to come and carry you. Then we get up here. We was driving around circles. I said, man, they don't want me to come here for nothing. So I said all that to say this. Some of you are going to hear the words that I speak to you, and it's going to go down as a seed. But I declare and I decree that you'll never go back to the life you came from. Everybody say anywhere, but backwards. Let's go to work. Page 21. If anybody don't have a book, let me know. Page 21, y'all. Every time, one other thing I want to let y'all know. The camera is actually recording, so I don't like to, please walk around the camera so y'all don't get in the camera. Because I don't want to break y'all confidentiality, okay? The reason why we record is because we minister and reach so many different people that can't be here. But we can also send the tape to them so they can watch it later that's dealing with the same issue, okay? So help me out with that, y'all. Listen, every group, I like to have an expectation for each group. The Minor Adjustments group, every group, this expectation is everyone will get down to the core of who they are and why they do what they do. It says, there's a purpose in your past. In order for you to begin the process of allowing your past to push you into your destiny, you must first know that despite all the bad choices and situations and negative things you have done in your past, you still have a purpose for living. So many people want their lives to have meaning. They want to do the right thing, but are often unsure what that is. You and I were created to do something extraordinary. You have a purpose. Listen, when I said that everybody would get down to the core of why they do what they do, inside every apple, there's something greater in an apple. But if you take the skin of the apple, bury the skin outside, fertilize it, you still won't produce the greatness that's in the apple. If you take that same apple, you peel it, you cut a piece out that we normally eat, if you bury that piece, you still won't produce the greatness that's in the apple. But if you peel that apple, cut through the pieces you can eat, you'll come across the part of the apple that's the core. Somebody got it. The core. When you break through the core, you get to the seed. That's your life. But only until you break through the core of why you do what you do, you'll never discover the greatness that you have in you. Everybody say, I have greatness inside of me. Say, I have greatness inside of me. But you have to break through the core of, if you know you have greatness in you, why would you put something in you that can kill you? Okay, y'all got to catch that. Listen, if you have greatness in you, why would I put heroin in me to kill me if I have greatness in me? Everybody say, I have greatness inside of me. But I must become great. It's in you. You have the seed of greatness inside of you. But you must become great. The only thing that would allow you to see the greatness in you, you have to break through the core. Now listen, inside all of these books is questions. The questions will be answered on you, but you will all have different answers. This question is to provoke you to start examining yourself. If I have greatness in me, why would I keep doing things that will try to kill me, will take my life? Why don't I try to sit down and get with the God of my understanding, get with some mentors, listen to some people who have walked the walk, and find out what I have in me? You have to discover what you have in you, but you have to break through the core. When I discovered why I did drugs, I found out I used to do drugs because I was an insecure man. When I was high, I could do a lot more things. When I was sober, I'm like, hold on. Girl, want to talk to me? Let me go get high first. I'll be right back. That's insecurity. But you have to find out what's the reason that you are putting something in you that could possibly kill you. The word purpose means to set as an aim. To set as an aim, intentions or goal for oneself, the reason for why which something exists. Who are you? In the book, when you see those questions, y'all see it? Who are you? These questions will be something that you will ask yourself on your own. This is not something that you want to let everybody else, because a lot of times, most of the time, I say more than 90% of the time, when you ask somebody who they are, they tell you what they come on, you can this is an interactive group. They tell you what they do. That's because a lot of times people don't never discover who they are. They say, no, I'm a nurse. No, that's what you do. Who are you? That's why these questions are in there. And I put in my book, it's not in yours, but if you have a pen, you can write this down. Normally, other people tend to see your true potential before you see it. Normally, other people, I know everybody in here have heard individuals come up to them and say, even though you're using drugs, they probably try to encourage you, say, you know you can do this, you know you was doing this, you know you can do this. They see your potential before you see it. Normally, I'm a 10-time published author. And you know, my mother used to tell me that I could write books, but my wife will confirm that I could write books because I used to always write all these letters when I was in jail in rehab. And she used to say, man, you can write a book. But see, when I was in there, I was writing trying to keep her here. Because I thought I was going to lose her. So I'm writing, I got to come up with something. She said, you was writing these good poems. You think? They were my best ones. I was thinking. But when I came home, look, I'm a 10-time published author. But she spoke that, and I never even thought about writing a book. Never even thought about it. It says, what's your purpose? The company Apple has an image. It says, what's your purpose? The company Apple has an image. When you see the image on an iPhone, right? When you see that image, the company Apple, before they put that image on the iPhone, they made sure that the iPhone had everything that it needed to succeed. Apple also got an iWatch, but before they put their image on an iWatch, they made sure everything that the iWatch needed to be successful was already in the iWatch. Apple also got iPads, but before they put that image on the iPad, they make sure that everything that the iPad needs to be productive was already in it. Now I said all that to say this. The Bible says that God made us in his image. Oh, they good, Lord. They got it. Y'all can't never say y'all ain't heard me. They said God made us in our image. But before God put his image on you, he made sure that everything that you needed to be successful was already in you. Before God put his image on me, he made sure that everything that I needed to succeed was already in me. And before God put his image on you, he made sure that everything that you needed to be productive was already in you. That's what God calls an inside job. Everybody says it's an inside job. Inside job. Everything you need is in you. Everything you need to be successful, it's in you. Everything you need to succeed is in you. And everything you need to be productive is in you. You will not be receiving anything new. You need to learn how to use what you got. Everybody has the seed of greatness in them, but you must become great. I see people all the time say, how did this guy do that? And then I realized that person tapped into what was in them. Every last one of you guys have the exact same thing.
Grab the stool, baby. Grab the stool.
Are you aiming for anything of importance? Are you anybody in here? That's the question. Are you aiming things? Are you aiming for anything of importance? Anybody? What's your aim? What's your goals? Y'all can say it. You aiming for something?
I got a goal.
Go ahead.
My goal is to stop all business and move detail cars.
That's good.
And let me tell you, when my husband was in rehab, that was in his head to start this. It wasn't called minor adjustments at the time, but he designed this program in rehab.
Okay, good.
You started. Anybody else? Come on.
I'm on the same lines of business ownership. I want to leave a legacy for my son.
Anybody else aiming for something?
I'm from Philly, and I'm a permanent people program. I'm looking forward to being a resident of not in the sort of house like a permanent resident.
Yeah, I know. Like living. Like a living.
Amen.
Anybody else?
I want to enjoy life.
Huh?
I want to enjoy life.
I know
Enjoy
that's
life. I
right.
know that's right. Simple. What's your intention? Do you have a goal, which y'all was just talking about? Remember this, y'all. Purpose is the master of motivation and the mother of commitment. Purpose is the master of motivation. When you discover what your actual purpose is, it's the master of motivation. Once I realized that after all the negative things that I did in my life, my purpose, I had a purpose in that particular field, I realized that that's all I had to do. I had to stay. I no longer had to be jealous of somebody else who was successful in any other field. I found out what my purpose was, and now I mastered it. I mastered my purpose, and that's exactly what you have to do. You have to find out what your purpose is. Down the bottom it said, what makes you forget about the world around you? What makes you forget about the world around you? Again, all these questions is for you to write down things that come to your mind. To reach your purpose, you must ask yourself 3 questions. This ain't in your book. To reach your purpose, you must ask yourself 3 questions. The first one is, what's my present situation? The second one is, what's my desired destination? Somebody want to guess the third? Listen, I told y'all, I'm just here to revive y'all. Y'all already know it. I'm telling you, man. You know this. You know it. Your first one is, what's my present situation? My present situation is, I'm in the Salvation Army. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. This is how I did it. I was in the Salvation Army. I said, my present situation is, my marriage needs to be restored. I'm in the Salvation Army right now. My desired destination is to create a program to come back to the Salvation Army's prisons, rehab, and help individuals who are just like me. That was my desired destination. Then I had to figure out, what do I need to do to make that come to fruition? And you all have to do the same thing. In order for you to reach your purpose, you have to first ask yourself, what's my present situation? Is my marriage messed up? Is my family relationship messed up? Do I have a job? Do I have this? What's my desired destination? I'm trying to get to there. Now you got to figure out what I have to do in the middle. But I need to let you on to something. If you use again, you mess up all this and have to start over. Every time you keep doing that, you keep having to start over. So you know your present situation. And I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. I don't need to do that because your own conscious mind beats you up every time you mess up. Your conscious mind be like, man, I did it again. That's why when people call me who have relapsed, I don't say anything about the relapse. Never. Because I already know that conscious mind like, man, again, you gotta do this all over. You never had to make somebody feel guilty. But everybody say anyway. Anywhere. Listen, if you don't get anything. And I got that. I didn't even tell y'all. Sorry, Lord. I got that anywhere but backwards from the Bible. Jeremiah. Never forget this scripture. If you don't remember any scripture besides John 3:16, remember this one. Jeremiah 7:24. It says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me, but they kept following their own hearts, and they kept going backwards instead of forward. That's one of the best scriptures I ever read in my life. He says, they did not listen to me, but they kept listening to themselves. And when they kept listening to themselves, they kept going this way instead of that way. When I read that scripture, I said, anywhere but backwards. And I live off that till this day. Everybody say anywhere. Anywhere. But back. But back. The next one is page 23. No matter what anyone says to you, or no matter how you look at it, you have a purpose for this world, and you have a purpose. You have a purpose for this world, and you have a reason for living. Telling yourself that you have a purpose, even though your present situation may have you feeling broken inside, is a great place for you to begin. Start by encouraging yourself. Stop waiting on others. Tell yourself, I have a purpose. Everybody. I have a purpose. See, I have a purpose. I have a purpose. See, I have a purpose. See, I have a purpose. See, I have a purpose. You have to hear those words coming out of your mouth. I am encouraged by the gift of that God, grace that God has placed on my life. When I don't have anybody around me or whatever I am going through, no matter what I'm going through, I encourage myself. You have to learn to encourage yourself. You're not going to always leave out of here and have days when you're riding on clouds. When you leave out of here, I'm not even going to lie to you. Everybody in your family is not just going to bow down because you have some clean time. Everybody is not going to open their door and say, here, you can have the keys to the apartment. Businesses might not hire you. Friends might leave you. Relatives might never forgive you. But none of that is worth you going back. None of it. You just have to tell them I have a purpose. Sometimes they're going to think you crazy. Yeah, he went. Yeah, he crazy. No, I ain't crazy. I have a purpose. You have to encourage yourself. You can't wait for other people to encourage you.
This is my actual story right now. A lot of times, we have a chapter called surrender, but a lot of times people want to know why you don't start with surrender. Well, unless people understand that they have a purpose, what you surrendering for, right? So, the way for you to find out what your purpose is talk to what created you, what designed you. I'm not talking about mom and dad. I'm talking about the creator. Just like the person that designed a stool or a chair, right? Take this stool, he had a purpose. He probably got tired of standing up. He probably got tired of sitting too low. So he made the stool according to what height he wanted, to go with whatever table he wanted to go. He made it the color. However he made it have 4 legs, 3 legs, however he wanted it. He designed that stool because he had a purpose in mind. But this is what we do. We are now taking the creation that he had in mind, and we're doing other stuff with it. So right now, this is my podium. It's a stool if you ask the guy that designed it, but I'm using it as a podium. If I need to get something off the top shelf and I stand on it, it's now a ladder. If I'm hungry, I put some food on and I sit here, it's a. And if you don't got on my last nerve, you come at me, it's a. But if you, no matter how I use this, the Creator still calls it a, because that is its purpose. So no matter what you've done or no matter what you're doing, your purpose is still what it is. You have to tap into what that is, because that's never going to go away.
At all.
Got it?
Got it. You see, she talked about weapons. That was her issue.
Yeah.
She had anger issues. Thank you, Lord. Let's go. Let's look at page 25. 25. It says, brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I always do is that forgetting what I did in my past and reaching towards what's ahead. The only reason you need to look back at your past is to learn more about yourself. The person who loves instruction loves knowledge, but the one who hates to be corrected is stupid. Proverbs 12, verse 1. I ain't call you stupid. It says the person who loves instruction loves knowledge, but the one who hates to be corrected is stupid. Because if I can tell you, the person that loves instruction loves knowledge. If someone gives me instructions about what to do and not to do, and I constantly go against what the instructions, that's just dumb. So all of my life, I had individual mentors, I had pastors, I had everybody telling me, yo, don't go that way, and I kept going that way. I end up going back in here. That's just stupid. If somebody say, what's your clinical diagnosis? That's stupid. It's just stupid. It's nothing. If we keep doing it, you got to think, we're not reaping any benefit about that. I'm going to talk about that more on Sunday. The word past means what has existed or has happened at some earlier time or an earlier point of a person's life or career. This is a question somebody answered. Who do you blame for your past? You say yourself? That's good. Who, come on, somebody else. He said, okay, who else?
My abusers,
Your abusers? Lifestyle. Who else? Who do you, what you said? Significant other. Who else? Somebody else. Who do you blame for your past?
Devil made it.
That's good.
Hashtag number one answer. You got the number one answer. The devil made me do it. The devil over there. I heard one of my elders in the church, he was preaching one day, and he said, God seen the devil in the corner crying. He asked the devil, why you crying? He said, they blame me for everything. I said, that's a good one. He said, the devil was over there crying. God asked, man, what you crying for? He said, they blame me for everything. I said, oh, that's a good one, because everybody, the devil did it. Yeah. That's funny. The next question, Bullet. What are you holding on to from your past?
Resentment.
not being able to forgive me.
That's all of y'all. What are you holding on to from past? The reason why I say you holding on to something from your past, I'll deal with that in the next subject. Surrender. Good. Shame. Guilt. They both said that at the same time. Number one answer. What are you? Come on, some of y'all that is not participating. Listen, I'm telling you, you have to participate in your own recovery, because after you leave here, and when you cross that gun line, boss, that thing is out there waiting for you at that gate. Like, you done?
Pushes at the gate.
He at the gate like, you finished? Oh, you didn't work on anything, did you? Come on. I'm telling you, you're going to have to put the same effort. No, yeah, that's wrong. You're going to have to put twice as much effort in your recovery as you did trying to get the things that you used to do. I'm guaranteeing it. And my wife said something the other day, and I was thinking about it. She was saying it actually to me, but I processed it. I'm going to give her credit today, but when she ain't around me, I'm going to just say I came up with it. But listen, she said, dormant does not mean delivered. Dormant does not mean delivered. Some things in our lives we probably are allowing it to lay dormant, and we think we're delivered from it. And then we're not. If we don't deal with it, then it'll pop right back up. So you got to understand, when something is lying dormant, waiting on you, that's why you got to watch out for high-risk situations, relapse triggers, and all that stuff. That stuff ain't just words that people came up with. That stuff is evidence-based stuff that if you don't pay attention to it, the thing that's lying dormant will eventually bite you. So when you're in here, no matter what institution and stuff you're in, I don't care what the rules are, I don't care what you don't like. It is not about that. It's about you. You always got to put it back on me. How can I make myself better? And then come back, and actually, the rules that was in place in the facility that I was in, I hated them. And then I will break this particular rule every time. And they called me in the office and they said, Mr. Webb, I said, what's up? They said, you broke that rule again. I said, man, it's a stupid rule. And to my surprise, the director said, we know. But you can't keep it. And they said, that's a stupid rule that we put in place to see how many of you guys will break it. And they said, there's one stupid rule that's in place dealing with recovery, and everybody keep breaking it. And the number one rule is don't pick up. That stupid rule that I was breaking in the program is the rule, don't pick up. So they told me, I said, you kidding me? That is very clever. They said, we put stupid rules in place and you keep breaking them. And when you leave here, there's one stupid rule that's in place and you keep breaking it. And that's how we relapse and come back. That one rule. It's impossible for you to relapse if you don't pick up. That's the rule in the program that you keep. Think about it yourself. When you leave here, think about that rule that you just keep breaking. That you think, this is a dumb rule. And this is the thing, though. Did you break the rule when nobody knows you breaking it but you? I keep telling y'all, it ain't about the program. It's about you. Just check it out. Motivation for leaving your past behind. I'm gonna give you these, and then I'm gonna jump up into surrender. I'm gonna give you these, y'all can write them down. I'm gonna give you some motivation to leaving your past behind. Number one, think about the benefits of not using. The benefits of not using, more money. Yeah, you know it. You'll have more. They ain't in your book. When you facilitate the program, you'll have it. Now listen, let me tell y'all. I said that, I'm laughing. The Mind Industrial Program, we want to inspire you to eventually want to be like a facilitator in your town. And then we mentor you, we facilitate, or we monitor you. You're not only saying this type of lifestyle that you're telling people you're living, you're showing evidence that you're a changed person. And then eventually you'll be a facilitator in your town and help build up your community just like we want to help build up our community. The first one is think about the benefits of not using. These are motivations for leaving your past behind. The next one is recall unpleasant drinking and drugging situations like overdosing. Focus on the progress you are making. Focus on the progress you are making. It don't have to be something major. Think about the potential negative consequences. Think about the potential negative consequences. And lastly, distractions. Distractions. Your past is nothing, it's full of distractions. If you're sitting around and you're pondering your past, don't even worry about it. And one thing, the only place your past can live is in your memory. And the only power it has over you is the power you give it. The only place your past can live is in your memory. And the only power that it has over you is what you give it. My first book title is Pushed Out the Crack House into God's House. How to allow your past to push you into your destiny. My past has literally pushed me into my purpose. It no longer holds me. I allowed it to push me. You have to allow your past to push you. That's why those questions are in the book. Who are you? What are you holding on to from your past? Those questions are in there to try to stir you up to think about it. Let's move to page 27. It says, everybody got that? Where it says, don't get down on yourself? All right. Don't get down on yourself and think that you're the only one with a past, because everybody has a past. Study has shown that past behaviors is the best predictor of future behaviors. This ain't in your book. It says the study has shown that past behaviors is the best predictor of future behaviors. This only applies if nothing changes. That stat right there, that right there is proof that you can study somebody's past behaviors and predict their future behaviors if they never change anything. But if you make some minor adjustments, look what it says. When you begin to make needed minor adjustments in your life, you're not only going to change directions, but you will also make the scholars who did the study go back to the drawing board. You cannot change the past, but you can always choose a different direction and use your old one to push you ahead. You can always change direction. No matter what the studies say, no matter what people say about what you did in your past, that's your past. It can only live in your memory. But you can change directions. And they say, hold on, I thought that for all my life of committing crime and doing drugs, multiple people, I can see them clearly telling me that I will always do this. You will always do this. You will always be on drugs. You will always come back to prison. You will always do this. But this is the thing that I shocked them. Because I did actually come back to prison, but they never thought I was going to come back and try to tell people to stay out. Yeah. So when they see me, they say, what you doing here? And I walked in. The first time I got an ID from the correctional, I went to the Department of Correction, and I was coming through without coming through like this. I was coming through like with a suit on. And I was doing the class. I was up there teaching, and I remember the other inmates got up there and said, what you just came from the halfway house? I said, nah, why you say that? They said, because I was dressed. I wasn't in inmate clothes. I said, nah, man, I'm your teacher. But they never expected that to happen. You have the same opportunity too. People will always tell you are going to do something. That's the study, the statute. That's true. That's what I used to do. But you can make them change directions, but you have to change something. You have to figure out, I don't know what it is, but you have to find something in your life that you say, you know what? I gotta be honest with you. I was so prideful that the people who said I would always do drugs or commit crime, I was so prideful that I didn't even want them to be right. I said, you know, I done tricked myself into quitting. I quit using initially because I was like, I don't even want this chick, I don't even want her to be right. So I said, I'm gonna quit. This what funny thing happened. I started to enjoy the life that I had got. So I don't know if you want that for your motivation, but don't make them right. Everybody say prove the doubters wrong. Wrong. Come on, man, give yourself a round of applause. Prove the doubters wrong. Love to see their faces. I can't stop, man. I gotta be honest with you. Sometimes I walk past people with shades on that I know said something, and I walk past them and look and be like, is that him? Yeah, I know you, yeah, that's me. Man, let's go. Expectations. Page 29. What we're going to do, I'm going to go through this chapter of surrender. Then after surrender, we're going to open the floor because a lot of people have questions and stuff. We're going to ask y'all for some. Y'all ask us any questions you would like to ask, and we'll be able to answer to the best of our ability. Again, if you want to ask questions, ask the questions. And again, think about it. You might have the confidence or not have not a shy type of spirit, but someone might want to ask a question. So if you have a question, you're not only asking it for you, you're asking it for someone who may be afraid to ask. So if you have any questions, I don't care if it's one person asking them 10 questions. What we come here for is for y'all to pull from us. The more I give out to you, I cannot lie. When I go home every day of my life, I get up before my wife get up at 5 o'clock. I do my prayer, I do my study. By the time she get out, I'm messing with her. She always say, you wait till I turn on the light in the bathroom and I come running there talking about, are you up? She's standing at the sink. Yes, she up. But I always come in there and ask, are you up? I just like to see my wife in the morning. But when you get in here, you got to develop a devotional habit. You have to develop some type of habit to get up and change. A changed lifestyle is not only the substance. It's not just the substance out of your body. Let's look at surrender. Again, my wife talked about why we can do surrender second instead of doing surrender first. It's because our strategy is if we can try to inspire you and think, or at least think about a purpose in your life, you will be able to surrender old things. You'll leave it alone. Once you tell me, hold on, if I stop that, I get this. Yeah. You stop this, this comes. It'll come right behind it. Anybody want to read? Go ahead, you can stand up and read, please, sir.
Surrender, the key to victory. The two armies are at war, and one of the armies wants to give up because they realize that they are defeated. They wave a white flag, or when a boxer is taken beating in the ring, the opponent wants to stop the fight, they throw in the white towel. In this case, meaning your life, you're the one with the white flag, towel in your hand, and you and only you have the power to wave it or throw it in, and that's called surrendering. And surrendering is the key to victory.
You, thank you, sir, I appreciate it. You and only you have the towel. When a boxer's in the ring and they want to quit, and the person, they corner got to throw it in. I mean, they can fall down and get knocked out. But in this sense, you have the towel in your hand. And you and only you can throw it in. You have the towel, you have to throw it in. On this lifestyle that you used to live, on your past lifestyle that you used to live, you have to throw it in. I remember who or what has you not surrendering? I remember I had a vision, and this is when I was trying to develop my relationship with the God of my understanding, who I call Jesus Christ. When I was trying to develop my relationship, I remember God showing me a vision, and in this vision, he said I was in a tug of war with him. And I couldn't understand what he meant. He says, this is your past, and you're holding on to your past at the same time me trying to pull you to something better. So I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, let it go. Simply let it go. I was holding it, and he says, all you have to do, Michael, is let go. Because a lot of times we're holding on to our past. You have to understand, there are some things that we do in our lives that we enjoy doing. Me, I love playing basketball, and I love working out, going in the gym. So when I would do that when I was in jail, but I actually enjoyed it. So when I got off of drugs and I bought my first home, the first room I built in the basement was a gym. I enjoyed it. It wasn't because I was using or in jail. It was something that I enjoyed. You all have something that you enjoy, or you have dreams that you had when you were a kid, and the drug usage robbed you or trying to rob you from the dream. You had it there. It was right there. Like, yo, you were so confident, like, I'm doing this. But in order for you to get to what you want to do, you got to let your past go. Just simply let it go. It's gone. The hardest thing to convince yourself, the hardest thing for me to convince myself was this: I can never use again. I just had to get it because I kept trying, let me tell you, I testify. I kept trying to think, I like heroin and I like crack. Yeah, I'll correct it. I love heroin and I love to smoke crack, right? We only do things that we love. So I thought, well, maybe if I don't do this, I can just drink. So I went to a restaurant one day. It was our anniversary. Me and my wife was in there, and I'm like, drinking ain't my thing. So I'm going to just go ahead and ride out. I'm going to stay clean from heroin and crack, and I'm going to just drink. It was our anniversary. We go out. So my wife, because she don't drink or do anything, and I don't got nothing against people who do drink. I'm just saying that we don't. So she said, I don't think you should drink. I said, man, crack and heroin, my thing. Drinking's not my thing. I got this. She was like, I don't know. She was like, I just think we just gonna ride this out with nothing. We can drink water. So I was like, nah. She was like, babe, you sure? And I'm like, I got it. She was like, nah. She was against it. So we in the restaurant. I believe it was like our first or second anniversary. I don't remember. But anyway, we was in the restaurant. We ordered food. Late waitress come. I tell the waitress, yeah, bring me a bottle of this with my food. Boom, boom, boom. So she take my order. I'm sitting there, and in come my pastor and his wife. So my pastor walking, hey, Mike, man, what y'all doing, man? I said, hey, pastor, you said it's your anniversary? I said, yeah. So he went and sat down with him, the elders of the church. They all go sat over there. So we were sitting over here, and the waitress come over there, said, oh, man, you know them? I said, yeah, I know. He said, oh, he told me, give him your bill. I said, my bill with the drinks on it? I said, nah, take the drinks off. Get the drinks. I said, put them back. I don't want them now. I don't want them. But it was like a sign for me that I wasn't supposed to do it. And again, I'm not saying anything about somebody. I'm just telling you that you have to know your limits. And I never attempted to drink or do anything else just because that was not my thing. That's a trick. When you think you can do something else because it's not your main thing that you used to love, that's a straight trick. It's going to make you want what you really used to love. You have to remember that. He came and he said, yo, they said, I said, what was the odds of you coming in the door? My wife said, see, I told you you wasn't supposed to do it. But that was like, what was the odds of all these restaurants in the world? You came in the one that I just ordered drinks. And she said, I told you. I don't know. She said, I don't know about nobody else, but I know you can't do it. But still to this day, I never attempted that ever again. That was funny though. All right, let's move to page 2030. What question? Huh?
It's a 2030.
2030. No, she below me. What you say then?
Who or what has you not surrendered?
Oh, what has you not surrendered? You know, afraid of change? Wow, that's so honest. That's an honest, yo. That's honest. Anybody else? This is a clearly obvious. We already know. You don't have to convince me that something's stopping you from surrendering, because the process of you going back to what you used to do. So what's stopping you? Who's stopping you from surrendering? Or what are you letting? He said change. He's like, man, I don't know what change look like. Like what it's gonna like. That's true.
Pride.
Who?
Pride.
Wow. Good. Anybody else?
Lack of self-confidence.
Man, y'all good. Man, I'm gonna use this stuff. I ain't giving y'all credit. But listen, who else?
Indifferent resignation.
Huh?
Indifferent resignation. Just don't care anymore. Fear from the unknown.
Fear from the unknown.
Insecurity.
Go ahead, I hear you. Huh?
Fear factor.
Fear factor? That's you said that? Anybody else? Exactly. They don't call on you when you struggle. They be like, I ain't got no responsibility when I'm struggling. That's a good one, though. That's true. Like, yo, I don't got no responsibilities when I'm out here doing my thing. But once I start straightening up, like, oh, we can call him now.
It's like all your life you've been doing drugs and drinking, and how you gonna know how to live sober?
That's so good because, like I said, the hardest part of convincing myself that I can never do it again, it is challenging. What I did to make it easier was surround myself with people who did it before me. Yeah, you got, because you have to find people who have already did the path. Like they already did it. So even if I don't get it automatically from that individual, I'm still gonna stay close to them. Like, because I'm not telling you it's gonna be easy. All I'm telling you is don't go back and go through the process. If you don't get anything from me, and my name is Michael Williams, and you don't remember anything, remember, I can't go back. All that stuff that y'all saying are valid, but at the same time, going back will make you start over with the same questions, the same answers. So the more you stay away from substances, the more I stayed away from substances, the better I start to enjoy the life from it. The more you do it, the more you're going to start to enjoy it. Whereas I was reading a paper at my counseling job, and it says you have to put your life in such a position where using is not even an option. Like no matter what I go through in my life, and if I don't have money for bills, if I cause a heated discussion in my house, whatever it is on the table for me, using is not even like, it's not even one of the things that I can pop. Like that ain't even it. And you have to develop a spiritual foundation. Listen to me. When I say I got in a heated discussion with my wife, one of the mistakes I almost made, but I got corrected because I have a relationship with God, is when I got in a heated discussion, I went outside in my car, right? But as soon as I got in my car, the Holy Spirit told me, go back in the house. Because anything can happen now when you are emotional, you so emotional, and you get in the car, I was like, oh, shoot, let me go downstairs and watch TV. But in order for that didn't happen until I developed that. That comes from development. Before, start all over. But
And all those things that you guys just said, if you think about it, like I heard some of those things from my husband, and he used to make me so mad at him because I'm like,
Oh, me? Not me.
Give yourself a chance. You know, we all get scared sometimes. We all are hesitant about taking a step forward. Fear of the unknown. Because you want to try, but you're scared you're going to fail. So I might as well just stay where I am. And but you can't stay there. And the reason I say that, like all this stuff that you guys said, when you go out there and do what you do, you're living all the stuff that you said anyway. Instead of facing something for something positive, you'll go face the drug man and he'll call you all kinds of names. If he tell you to clean dog poop, chicken coop, stand on your foot and hop for an hour to get it, you will do it.
No question that.
You will stick it out. You will humble yourself. You will take it. You will follow all his rules to get what you want from him. But when it comes to for the betterment of you, now the rules are stupid. Now I'm scared to try. My husband had a boot on his ankle. He tore his Achilles tendon.
Don't put my business in the street, man.
He tore his Achilles tendon. We live in a Cape Cod house. So Cape Cod, 2 floors, the ceilings are, the roofs are slanted. Ask me how he climbed on the roof with a boot. Needed surgery. He climbed up on that roof to get in the house, to break in to get what he wanted.
I needed some equipment to sell.
Couldn't go to work, could barely walk. But when that urge was great enough to get what he wanted, he climbed on. Not only did he climb on top of the roof, break in the house, steal whatever jewelry he done took that time. I don't know what you stole that time. But we lived up on a hill. He walked down the hill to wherever he got the stuff from, walked back up the hill and went in our garage and got hot. With a boot, with a torn Achilles. He wasn't worried about the pain. When we went to the doctor and I was like, no, you can't give him any Percocet. I need Percocet, this pain too great. But
she
now
messed up my legal high, man. I ain't never forgave her for that. I gotta pray for me. I went to the doctor, I had Achilles. The doctor came out and said, y'all, I'm giving you these perks. I'm like, yeah. So she was like, no. I said, what are you doing? I got hurt. I said, it hurt. She said, you better give him something else. I was like, babe, that's legal. I can get high legally. Let's go. No. She said, no, doc, him, he can't, no, doc, don't give him nothing.
But it didn't matter.
That was funny.
You was in so much pain, could go to work and do this, that you could climb on the roof. So his face, I'm telling you, he used to take so much stuff out of the house to go give to the drug man.
Yeah.
The one time I seen him riding by and I was like, look, I need you to introduce me to your supply so he can take me out.
Yeah, that was wild. I told y'all. She said, that's a nice car you bought him, baby. I said,
let him take me out. Let him take me shopping into the movies.
yes.
Because everything you say you can't do here, you gonna do for him, clean up, whatever, steal. You understand? So you'll do it for that thing. So all we're telling you is to reverse that thing and do it for you.
That same drive.
That fear.
I told you, that same drive.
Follow yourself.
Yeah. You got that same, the same passion and enthusiasm that I have now. I had when I was using it. I just use it for different, for positive. You have the same thing, the same tenacity. Listen, you can come out in the morning and be broke, but you know you're coming up. You know you don't know what you're gonna pull off, but you know you won't be broke all day. That same drive, that same passion, you got to use in your recovery and sober living life. You got to use the same thing. It's part of you.
And face it, just face it. You know, we serve an extra God. Anything that you can imagine, the things that you guys called out that you would like,
Yeah.
when he asked you what do you want, you know, he'll give you more than that.
Yeah.
He will. This morning I woke up, I'm telling you, when I woke up, I for some reason I was just looking at my house and I just fell back against the wall and I'm like, God, I remember we were in a little teeny trailer. And if I sat in the chair right here and he went in the bathroom, I could put my foot up and touch the bathroom door.
Yeah.
That's how small it was. We couldn't argue because we couldn't go to our corners. We had to face each other. And now we got so much room that he can go his way and I can go my way.
I use every room of mine.
Yes, he uses every room. But I woke up this morning and I'm looking at the house and it hit me. I was like, oh my God, I love our home. God, thank you so much. This is ours. But he's like, you like it? It's like my conversation I was having with my God this morning. He's like, you like it? You're welcome, daughter. You ain't gonna be able to stay here. And I'm thinking, I literally, I told my husband, I said, I fell back against the wall, like, what's going to happen? I can't stay in I got more. Now I'm content.
I'm good.
I'm almost like, nah, I'm good right here. But he said, I got more. So if I'm happy with what he's already given
Just
me,
imagine what he
can you imagine the more
you have if you never touch it again from that point forward?
Can you imagine having 10 days clean? And he said, I got more. And you're like, man, I'm happy about this 10 days. And he was like, I got 100. Come on, then you get to 100, you're like, I'm happy about this. Like, no, I got more. Anything that you can think about, he has more than that. All he needs you to do is stay focused. To don't give up. Give yourself a chance because there's a purpose. There's a purpose. And he'll take every way that you messed up, every time that you failed, even things that people said, he will take it and use it for your good. He will turn it around, he will use it.
Trust me.
Trust me.
That's why I love to do what we do, is we let people know, especially the people who already know us, but at the same time that we be able to come and encourage you guys. And what we want to do is to inspire you or give you hope, to let you know, yeah, all of your lives and all your relationships that you had, I have some friends who marriages have not been restored. They still clean or whatever, but their marriage has not been restored. And some of them have. Some of them have moved on to do a lot of great things. Some of them, like somebody said, I just want to live a good life. Like, they just like, I'm good. I don't need nothing. All I want to do is live my good life. I ain't using no more. And that's all available to you. But you can't go back. Everybody say anywhere.
Anywhere.
But back. That's the whole foundation right there. Just don't go back. There's nothing else back there. There's nothing else back there for you.
And I want you guys to know, you can do it. So I'm going to tell you one thing. He was a mess.
She was terrible.
He was terrible.
Yeah, she took a lot of prayer. What's the hardest area? Page 30, 2030, whatever that guy said. What's the page 30? What's the hardest area for you to surrender or change? Somebody, come on, I need participation. What's the hardest area for you? Go ahead, bro. You wrote your book? I know that's right. Come on, man. What you got?
I put that easy money on the life.
Oh, easy money.
Insecurities.
Hardest area for you to change? Insecurity? Attitude. What else?
Being in charge.
Being in charge. That's good. That's what you said, being in charge? Nice. Who else? Habits. Old habits. Lust? That's good. Go ahead. Anger. Anger. Nah, that's good. Yeah. You and my wife both. You said something? Yeah, no, him. Huh? Friends and family. Yeah, that's true. That's a real hard one because you have that connection by that love relationship with your friends. Like some of my friends who are still out acting youth, they say, yo, we never see you around sunset. You won't. This is my strategy, right? I make them come on my turf. What I mean by that, where I'm comfortable. If you willing to come to my house, because I know what go on in my house, I know what I do at my church, I know what I do at this basketball court. If you want me to come, or we want to come on my turf. So when you're dealing with family and friends, and you have family and friends, and we don't smoke or nothing in our house, and they come over, they say you got smoke, they got to go outside and everything. That's all right. This is my turf. You have to have them on your turf. Anybody else? What's the hardest area for you to surrender? Go ahead, sir. Huh? My behaviors. Listen, when you deal about change, the hardest area for you to change, listen, remember this. It says change must be structured. Old patterns get reinforced unless a new pattern is introduced to override the old pattern. Change, you must live a structured life. Old patterns get reinforced. When you're thinking about the old patterns, all they do is keep running. The only way to override them is to introduce your brain to new disciplines. That can be through NA, Celebrate Recovery, church, Islamic, I don't care what it is, you have to change your pattern. If you don't disrupt your old pattern, it's like a cycle. It will just keep going. Like, this is what you do. Oh yeah, I remember every time I would get a year clean, I got my year, what you call, I never made the next one. I don't even know what the next one was after the year because I never make it. So as soon as I got a year, I'm like, time to toss it back up. I never seen I don't even know what color the next one was because every time I got a year, I would go back because my old pattern was in force. It wasn't a new, I didn't introduce a new discipline. You have to find a new discipline to override your old pattern. You ever see, like, when dirty water, you pour clean water in there? If it's a dirty water in the glass and you keep pouring clean water in there, sooner or later, it's going to start pushing out that old water. Sooner or later, it's going to be... That's how your brain... That's exactly how the brain... You got all this dirty... As soon as you keep putting it, but everybody say whichever one I feed the most will dominate. If you feed your brain new information, it will dominate the old information. Page 31. It says, so many people I encounter each day struggle with the idea of surrendering. It is almost as if we have developed barriers around our hearts that keep the world at an emotional distance. Recognizing these obstacles that stand in your way is the first step towards strong faith that you can surrender. One of the key obstacles, somebody back there said it, to surrendering is what? Pride. We may not all admit this, but all of us have this in abundance. The good news is there's a known cure called humility. Yeah. Without a doubt, it will take a humble person to surrender one bad lifestyle for a better lifestyle. Somebody back there had said it earlier that one of the main reasons he won't surrender, or a lot of individuals won't surrender, is pride. We somehow want to convince ourselves that I'm going to actually beat this drug thing by using it. I'm going to show y'all I won't die from this heroin that they died from. I'm going to go get it back and prove it to you. That's pride. That's pride. That's crazy. It's crazy. We trying to think, I'm going to prove you wrong by using it. No, that's actually pride. But we had a thing called humility. It will take a humble person to surrender one bad lifestyle for a better lifestyle. When a doctor prescribes medicine, this is not in your book. When a doctor prescribes medicine to you, he tells you to take it a particular amount of time. Take it this many times, this particular day. If you go to the doctor and say the medication didn't work, the first thing they're going to ask you, did you take it 3 times a day? You say, nah, I took it twice. Third time, I took 1. You talking about it ain't working. And listen, I'm prescribing medicine to you. The mind adjustment program and the strategies that I'm telling you, they're medicine. And the only thing you have to do is apply it. If you look on the front of the book, all the way in the front at the top, it says information plus application equals what? Yeah. Which one of those words you think is the most important? Anybody? Call it out. Anybody else? Come on. Application. Anybody else? They're all very important, but the most important is application. Because if Bill Gates came in here and gave you all his secrets to how he became a billionaire, and you wrote them down, recorded it, and just held it, you still be broke. But if you take what he gave you and apply it, you'll have money. This is the same thing with your walk of recovery. The people you have here, the staff you have here, they're giving you information. The passions and people you have in your life, your loved ones that are giving you, they're giving you the information. My wife and I come here, we're giving you the information. But you must, come on. You won't never be able to come back to the doctor and say, hey, Mr. Wayne, hey, man, I met you in 2020, man. You told me if I ain't go back, it'll work. I got high. I ain't give you that medication. Okay, I ain't tell you to do that. I told you. Said it ain't work. Did you use? Yeah, I used. Well, you ain't taking aspirin. You gotta take it. And a lot of things you have to understand. This is a sign that I realized. When you can laugh at your pain, when you can laugh at your pain with the addictive lifestyle cause in your family, your loved ones, even in your own personal life, when you can laugh at it, that's when you know you made it. My wife and I laugh so much. We be having so many hilarious laughs about the things I did when I was using, and then some of the stuff she be like, no, you didn't. And I'll tell her. I had one day she had when weed first came out. Y'all know the weed game? So she poured a weed, and she used to leave the weed downstairs in front on it and connected to the television. But one day when I was out smoking crack, I took her weed. So every night she liked to lay down in front of the TV. So every night she come home from work, get comfortable, she want to lay down on the couch in front of the TV. But the weed not there. So I keep saying, let's go upstairs. I want to lay down too. She like, why every night you want me to go upstairs instead of laying on the couch? Because I don't want you to see that the weed is gone. But then we laughed about that. She was like, no, you didn't. I said, man, yes, I did. The case was there, but the game wasn't. If she ever went over there. But those are the things you laugh at after you get out of it. You can laugh at things like that. It was painful, you know what I mean? But you got to understand, things in your life, you will get signs that you know that your life will have to start to change. I remember taking something to the same person that I sold that weed from, and he told me, take this. He said, this your wife's stuff. I had some other stuff I was selling. He said, man, this your wife's stuff. I said, yeah. He said, man, I know your wife. I said, so? So he said, she crazy. I said, what? He said, man, I don't know how long you knew your wife, but your wife is crazy. She has an anger issue. So I said, man, just let me get the crack for this stuff. He said, man, your wife's so crazy. Take this stuff and the crack. Get out. I said, man, who is this chick I got? The guy gave me the stuff, told me, take it home and take the crack and get out. He said, your wife won't kill you. But later you can laugh at that stuff, man. I couldn't believe it. I said, man, I need to change my life. Whenever the drug dealer, whenever they get like that, when they tell you, it's over. Change your life. Let's go to 32. I'm going to give y'all these 8 things. Y'all going to write them down. I'm going to give you on top. Y'all see the thought for the day? And it says, the greatness of a man's power is in the measure of his surrender. William Booth, y'all know who that is? Who? Yeah. He said, the greatness of a man's power is in the measure of his surrender. What that means is, if you want to know how great you can become, tell me how much you are willing to surrender. Don't tell me how good you are. Don't tell me how much money you have. Don't tell me none of that. Tell me, what are you willing to surrender? Because the greatness of a man's power is in the measure of what he's willing to say, I don't really need this anymore. You take this, I don't need it. I want to do something different. So your power is tied up in what you are willing to surrender. if you want to hold on to your past lifestyle, you won't be able to walk into the greatness that's actually there for you if you're not willing to surrender this past lifestyle. And addicted, you can be addicted to the lifestyle more, not just the drug. Somebody said that. You can be addicted to the lifestyle, like just the thrill of going to get the drug is a whole nother high. Yeah, that's crazy. When you sit back and you sober, you're like, man, I'm addicted to drama.
Well, like you said, I think about that a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of scared because I know I'm addicted to that negativity part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing that most of my life. That's an excuse. I can stop this today, which I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think about 6 months old from the program, I would have had some type of foundation of other for people around me, you know, that can hold me down, but I get to let them talk.
Me
I
too.
keep feeling better and come back up there and flip it. You know what I'm saying? That's up there. And that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that no more. I don't know. I'm 7 times moving in there, so you know, I must be doing something good. You know what I'm saying? I've been something with all people.
But you got the right idea of surrounding yourself with individuals who can encourage you. Because I tell my friends all the time that when they mess up in a particular area of substance issues, we all got issues. I just don't have a substance problem, right? So I tell them all the time, you had the opportunity to call me. Even then, I tell them this is one of my strategies I use, and y'all can all use it. If I ever had a thought of something about something dealing with drugs, I know that I ain't going back to the drugs, right? I would call one of my friends, I'll call Joe Frisbee, I'll call somebody, and we'll talk about sports. I'll never talk about me having a thought about drugs. I just needed that split second. Yo, I never ever said, yo, you know, I just had a crazy thought about this. I talked about something, but just that split second to call him was enough for whatever was trying to come in to go. I'm like, yo, you see the game, man? Y'all was terrible. Never even mentioned that I had a thought about something. So sometimes do it that way. Because sometimes you might don't want to tell nobody. But at least when you have that thought, call somebody. At least call somebody that you know that's on a positive path. Because you can call the wrong person and you be like, you ever see somebody amp you up more when you going through something and you call them, they like, yeah, I feel you. You're like, nah, I called the wrong person. No, I meant to call the other mic, not this mic, that mic. Will they make you think more? Nah, I'm gonna give y'all 8 enemies of your sobriety. These are 8 things. They're 8 enemies of sobriety. One of them is boredom. This is an enemy of your sobriety. Boredom, the state of being weary and restless through lack of interest. When you get bored, that's an enemy. As soon as you get bored, remember I said that's an enemy. Another one is self-pity. Always dwelling on one's misfortune. I call them the woe, it's me. This is wrong with this, and this is wrong. And stop! It's wrong. Everybody experiences that. Self-pity. Loneliness. Being without company. Loneliness is an enemy of your sobriety. You find yourself in a lonely place, you have to start calling on individuals. Extreme happiness. A very high degree of well-being and contentment. Extremely happy. You mean to tell me you happy 24/7? All the time? Nobody's. When you're extremely happy, that's an enemy. That's like a trap. Nobody's all. Sometimes you just have bad days. Chalk it up as a bad day, move to the next day, keep it moving. Disappointment is an enemy of your sobriety. This one, isolation, another enemy of your sobriety. Tired. Tired. After isolation, tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. How you doing? You want to come do it? Nah, I'm tired. I'm tired. Man, you ain't never been that tired when you was trying to get you. Matter of fact, yeah, I see it. Sleep wasn't even an option. Sleep and miss a day using it. You would sleep. Why? But as soon as you get on the side of it, trying to do right, I'm tired. I can't get up and go to work. I'm tired. You didn't even sleep on the streets when you was tired. The next one is intolerant, unable or unwilling to endure. Intolerant, you can't endure. When we actively use it, we endure everything. Now, let's go to page 34. 34. And then we're going to end at the next page, and then we're going to have some questions if y'all have any. What successful outcomes have you had? The reason why that question is there, what successful outcome have you had, is because you can build on it. A successful outcome, you've been here a certain amount of time, that's a successful outcome. You use that as a block, and then you build that on another block. You have to find successful outcomes. What successful outcomes have you had? You have to document that, put that in somewhere, and then you build on it. You build on it, and you build on it, you know? You might be trying to restore your relationship with your children, and because of what you used to do, you might have destroyed it, but this week you might have got a chance to talk to them on the phone. That's a successful to build on that. Like, it ain't much, but you be like, you know, I guarantee you it made you feel good. It ain't much, but at least they told me about them or something, you know what I mean? So that's a successful outcome. Where can you get the keys to gain a victory? Where can you get the keys to gain a victory? Why do you keep losing to this lifestyle? Why do you keep losing this and that? You write whatever you believe. This lifestyle is only a loss to those who don't learn from it. This lifestyle, meaning living an addictive lifestyle, it's only a loss if you don't learn from it. Your failures have to become your mentors. I had repeated failures, but when your failures become your mentors, that means you learn. When you learn from something, you never repeat it. Listen, the proof that you learned from the things or the consequences of drug addiction or criminal lifestyle is you don't repeat it. It was a funny thing to me, I never even realized it, that when I stopped using drugs, I stopped going to jail. I said, really? So that means they was tied together. That's crazy. But you got to realize, once you start changing, you got to change. Everything's going to change right down like a domino effect. How can you have victory without challenges? It's impossible. You can't have a victory without a challenge. Do you back down from battles or trials? Are all victories good? Ooh. 35. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Oliver Wendell Holmes. This habit is based on the principle of personal leadership, which means you decide what you want. You lead yourself into the direction you choose. There are always two creations of everything that we do. The first is in the creations of our mental. It's in our heads and not yet materialized. Like some of you guys said about the things you want to do, it's in your head. That's a great place. It's not yet materialized. That's where you develop the action plan and execute to the best way possible to get the victory. When you have that in your head, it's not materialized. I'm telling you right now, some of the things that I am doing in my life, I've seen them. I'm a visionary. I've seen them before they actually came to fruition. Check this out. Even though all the stuff that my wife said about me using drugs and all the stuff that I used to climb on the roof and all that stuff when I used to steal her stuff, do you know what I used to also always tell her? Anybody want to take a guess what I always used to say? What I used to say, babe?
I'm not going to always be on drugs.
I'm not going to always be on drugs. I would say that even when I was addicted and doing all that out my mouth, I would always say, I'm not going to always be like this. And I said it. It was in my head. It did not materialize. But eventually, it showed up. And then I kept saying it, I kept saying it, I kept saying it. And she was looking at me like, man, I wish that thing hurry up and show up. Because you keep telling me you ain't going to be like that. That's where you get it here. You have to keep saying it until it materializes. If you can identify the cause of your problem, the victory will soon be yours. It is one of, after this question, or I'm going to give you this statement. It is one of the most destructive forces this world knows. It causes war, poverty, fear, and worry. It also destroys the lives of millions of people, and is deadlier than the devil. It's the number one enemy of life. And that word is ignorance. It says it's one of the most deadliest, destructive forces in our world. It's deadlier than the devil. It's called ignorance. And you have to understand that if you're living a lifestyle that's going to possibly kill you, that's ignorance. Because it don't make sense to do something that will possibly take your life, when we always say, well, everybody gonna die, but everybody don't have to die from drugs. With that, I appreciate all you guys, and we're gonna open the floor up. Anybody got any questions? And if anybody, I guess if they don't have any questions, I guess they can.
It's basically what you just said.